2 years ago at my part-time job, I was hiding in the bathroom every shift and reading books. I hated my position. I hated my job. I hated how I looked. Heck, I kind of even hated my social life. At the fact that I didn't have one. When I was working this part-time shift of stacking shelves, I didn't see it as a job to just make money. I saw it as what it was, and that was time. Right? Because no matter what you're doing, you can be working, you can be at home, you can be at the gym, you could do whatever you want. It's all time. And when I was working this job, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, bro. The problems in which I was solving, the tasks which I was completing, were so meaningless and so pointless and didn't require anything out of my brain. Like, I wasn't really learning anything new. So 2 years ago, I asked myself, okay, right now, my social skills are pretty fucking abysmal. And I don't know that much about persuasion and influence, and I don't know that much about human behavior. Is my boss just manipulating me? Am I just like so dumb and don't and don't and don't understand the script of life? So I said to myself, okay, this 5-hour shift tonight, let's complete all of the meaningless tasks as fast as possible, and then let's use the time that I have, which is free, and almost treat it like double work. Let's not scroll. Let's not do nothing. Let's read books. Because quite frankly, bro, I'm not speaking to any of the co-workers. I don't even really relate with them. Like, I'm some big jack Greek guy with eyebrow slits, a buzz cut, and my co-workers, no offense to them, but they aren't who I really wanted to be friends with. We'll keep it at that. So I said, what can I do? Let's hide. I'm telling you, this is the truth. I would hide in my shifts, bro. Reading. Like, you hear that shit out of movies where it's like the nerd guy. And like, I don't want to have this emphasis of, oh, I'm some big, happy beta nerd. Because no, I'm not. I don't want to call myself alpha, because yes, okay, that's a bit kind of cringe and maybe I am too cocky. But I have the confidence to say that I'm not a nerd. But I find purpose in reading because it allows me to become who I want to become by being more educated, more knowledgeable, more interesting, being able to speak better. Endless positives, like not even just a negative of being nerdy. Books are a fucking hack. And if I didn't read during the time I had from those shifts, I actually had this thought yesterday. I was genuinely thinking like, holy shit. What if I never picked up a book? What if I just continued to slave away and stack shelves, push trolleys, clean up rubbish, and think by doing that I would become the man I want to become because, oh, I am making money, I'm keeping my boss happy, without realizing that he's straight up manipulating me and making me do dirty work. Fucking dirty work. Work that is unpurposeful as fuck. Work that doesn't even require much of me, but it requires my time. And, okay, not much of my brain. It's deadbeat work. I saw myself around there and said, okay, let's read. I know the books that I kind of got forced to read in high school were really fucking boring. And the fact that we had to write essays about them as well, Jesus Christ, bro. That ruined my whole relationship with books. And whenever I became motivated and said, okay, I'm gonna read, I would always take myself back then. Think of it as like if you have a bad relationship with your parents, let's say you get trauma, that trauma will then get carried into your next relationship. My trauma with books was so strong because of high school, because of the fact that I failed nearly every essay, because of another fact that I was one of the only guys in my year level who failed the English exam, or because I didn't read the book. And now look at me. I'm the guy who promotes reading more than like anything else on self-improvement. Reading got me ahead. As boring as you may think it is right now, is it really boring? Or is it that it requires you to use your brain for once and think and learn? You're saying it's boring, but I'm saying it's difficult. There's a difference between something being boring and something being difficult. And right now, to grow more and further your self-improvement, it comes through education, which quite literally, bro, only costs you $25 for a book. Like, that's a trade I'm willing to make. I remember there was this one shift where I just finished reading, I think it was, what book was it? Laws of Human Nature. Big 500-page book by Robert Greene. I just finished reading that book at work. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, I don't have any more books to read. What is my next purpose? What is God calling me to do next? I put the book to my side because I just finished reading it. I grab my phone. I go on some Australian website called Vinyl, some like book website. And I think, okay, from this night shift I'm working right now, I did the math. I was trying to like count how much money I was making this 5-hour shift. Okay, $30, 30, 60, 90, 120. From this one shift, I'm making $200. How do I want to spend this money to put myself in a better position to get myself out of this situation? I went on the Neil and I bought 10 books at once. If I can find that email and screenshot, I'm going to chuck it up on this YouTube video. If there's any of you who don't believe me, mid-shift, I bought 10 books. With no one telling me to do it. It all came from self-accountability. Yes, I had at this point of time, I was watching other self-improvement guys who were speaking about how important it is to read books and to further educate yourself. But I'm going to be honest, bro, the only person who could have done this, who could have spent his hard-earned cash on a book, let alone 10 books, was me. And when I remember how anxious I was, bro, I was like trembling. I was fucking trembling to click the buy button. on something that was to literally improve the quality of my life. Why was I feeling anxious? Was it because of how scarce I was with my money and as I was as a person? Yes. And you know what else I find super funny? Is the fact that this same point in time, I was still like pretty addicted to playing video games, specifically NBA 2K. And whenever 2K was to release their new game, I wouldn't feel anxious with having to buy the game, buy extra VC or the in-app purchases. I'd fucking blow 300, 400, 500 bucks like it's nothing on something that means nothing. But then when it came to something to further improve my life and to get me out of the situation which I fucking dreaded, I would hesitate. I would start sweating. I would start saying to myself, oh, is this even worth it? Am I even going to finish these books that I have to read? Oh, 10 books? That's going to take me 3 years, Adrian. I would get constant negative thoughts. I would give myself too big of goals that would almost intimidate me. But it wasn't until I got the delivery, like a week after, I get the delivery, bang, oh, huge package. Oh my God, 10 books. Wow. It wasn't until then I came in my room, I laid the books all out on my bed, and I made a game plan. I started to simplify it into short, little goals. Okay, I have 10 books, and I know the fact that once I finish these 10 books, holy fuck, I'm going to be some intellectual Giga Chad. But where do we start? Which book do I want to read first and seems like most intriguing to me? The charisma myth, that sounds cool. I want to become more charismatic. I'm like not charismatic at all. Throw the other 9 books to the side, grab this one book, and now think, fuck, this book is 200 pages. How am I going to finish this, bro? Say to myself, okay, this one day, what is my goal from this one book in this one day? I'm not going to read 200 pages, but why don't I try just read 20? 2 pages an hour, realistically, like that's not that hard. Really not. And you're telling me I can become more charismatic after reading this? This is the biggest trade worth making. I'm not going to go play video games. I'm not going to go fap. I want to become, as cringe as you may think it may or may not sound, I want to become charismatic as fuck. So I'm going to finish reading 10 pages, 20 pages of this book today. I did that. And it wasn't as hard as my brain made it seem to be. If anything, it was kind of fun. And I got these 20 pages done in like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I remember I was home, it was a sunny day. I think this was like, was it before summer 2 years ago? I grab my book, I get a beach towel, I go for a walk and I go to the park. I put my towel on the grass, I lie down and I read for 3 hours straight and finish half of the book. Yes, my motivation was at a much higher point at this period of time. But sooner rather than later, I started to realize that, holy fuck, reading is actually fun. I'm learning. I'm improving. I'm growing. I'm becoming more interested. I can now go to my friends, not feeling anxious, not knowing what to say, but going to them with having too much to say because I'm feeling like so happy, purposeful, motivated, disciplined. I'm now the guy who goes to my friends to tell them what to do. You know how much that puts me more in my masculine energy? You know how much that further makes me not want to do the bad stuff and do more of the good stuff? Quit my job and go all in on self-improvement? That's the trade I made. And when you genuinely think about it, like I said at the start of the video, all we have is time. And what comes after that is what trades we're willing to make with that time. Now, I don't want to sit here and say that I made every single right trade of time and I've never wasted time and I've read every single waking second of the day. Because no, that's not true. If anything, I still waste a fuckload of time. But I'm trying to improve. And I guess the most important thing for you right now is that your brain, this limiting belief that I'm like trying to dig really deep into and target. Your brain right now thinks that reading books is a waste of time because of past trauma. And you think by doing some sort of other habit like going to the gym, like working this shift, like seeing your friends even though you don't really have much to share with them, you think that is a better way. Now, okay, there is no right or wrong answer and live life how you want to live life, but realize that books aren't a waste of time. And if anything, they're going to help climb you out of that dark, deep, lonely, depressing hole that you're stuck in right now. Be honest with yourself. Why did you start this journey of trying to improve yourself? Other than attracting that girl, other than trying to improve your situation. You did it for you. Everything you do should be for you. That book you want to read or that I've told you to read shouldn't be for me, shouldn't be because of him, it should be for you. Every book I read, books about relationships, books about persuasion, books about human nature, books about speaking skills. What else? Productivity. The 10x rule. All of this stuff. It wasn't for anyone else but myself. This whole YouTube channel, this movement, yes, it's to help motivate and encourage you. But you know who it helps and motivates and encourages the most? My younger self. That version of me who thought books were a waste of time. That version of me who thought, oh, I'm already working this shift. I don't need to do extra work. I can just keep stacking shelves, scrolling on my phone, and quite literally wasting time and not doing anything to climb out. You don't hear many of today's influencers, ever, talk about the importance of books. Every influencer today, at least in like the male space, I don't even want to say self-improvement because a lot of them are just, they ain't self-improving. They're just purely degeneracy. A lot of these influencers today just fall victim to degeneracy, gambling content, alcohol, parties, which from the outside view, when you're like looking at that type of stuff on your phone, it looks like fun. I'll be honest, it does look like fun. Gambling looks fun. But realize that when you're in that position, regardless of if you're making money from it or not, it's not as fun and fulfilling and purposeful as it seems to be. Think about it. Are those influencers making any sort of positive impact on the world by encouraging more kids to gamble and drink alcohol? That's not that positive. It doesn't really serve a higher purpose for themselves. Now ask yourself the boring question of, does reading books serve a higher purpose? Or I can start to teach my friends stuff that I found important to help improve their lives. I can share this online. I should be reading a book a week. I should be going insane over books. I should be buying them regularly. I shouldn't just be investing all of my money in the S&P 500 to guarantee a 10% return. Fuck that. Why would I put all my money in there? I want to put my money in education, because that will allow me to become more interesting, to have more to share, to maybe even start my own business and help retire my family. I want to choose that path. And if anything, it is absolutely so selfish of me to have an ego and think that, oh, Adrian, this stuff doesn't matter. I already know everything. I have a girlfriend already. I have a good, well-paying job already. I just want to have a safe home and retire there. If you have that mindset right now, I hate to say it, bro, but you are a lot more emotional than you think. And you're not in your masculine energy. Masculine energy is all about going all in. I literally made a video, I think it was 2 videos ago, the secret energy to help you lock in. Masculine energy is about going all in. It's doing whatever it takes. You're watching this YouTube video now because you are trying to find ways to further put yourself in more masculine energy and to become even more locked in. And I'm literally handing it to you on a platter. Think about it. This YouTube video right now, you didn't have to go to the library to find this video. You didn't have to search in those shelves and find this author. No. You just had to sit on your ass, open up YouTube and try find some sort of entertaining video that will help masturbate your brain and keep you in this same cycle. Well, I hate to break it to you, bro, but this is that one video that is trying to slap you out of that cycle. And yes, this education was a lot easier to find than finding all of these books that I had to basically find myself and like search everywhere for. Even though like most of them are pretty popular, it's just a different audience. And I wanted to put myself in that right audience and not the degenerate audience of just party, raves, drugs, alcohol. Fuck that. You are an imbecile if you do any of that. Straight up. And if you get angry at me, that's just because you know I'm right. Be grateful that this education right now was a whole lot more easy to find. I even gave you vulnerable stories of what I did at work. I would hide in the toilets and read. I would scavenge. I would do whatever it'd take with the little bits of free time I had. Keep in mind, I was studying a uni degree as well. I was balancing gym. I was playing basketball like 3-4 times a week as well. It was just a lot of stupid stuff. But I'm just so curious of what that younger version of me, or that version of me now, what he'd look like if he'd never, and I mean never, was to pick up a book. If he was to never put his ego aside and just say to himself, oh, I don't need to read, I'm going to become a bodybuilder, because that was like my goal 3 years ago. I got stupidly lean in thinking that, oh, I really want to compete. But the funny thing was, bro, that wasn't because I wanted to compete. That was because I wanted to show off. and get validation for competing. Adrian Petis didn't want to compete. He felt like he needed to for more validation. It wasn't right. Like, that wasn't my true purpose. I found that my true purpose was teaching, sharing mistakes that I previously made and that you don't have to go through them. And if there was one mistake that I made that I wish I could turn back time and start doing sooner, it was that I neglected books for too long. I had too much of an ego. I coped in every single imaginable way that you can think of. I would even say stuff like, oh no, I need to be in the gym for an extra 2 hours today. Because the gym was my comfort zone as well, like it is yours. I've said this so many times now on my YouTube channel, but the more you go to the gym, the less it requires discipline, because it's a new habit, a hobby, an activity which you like doing. You like getting the pump. You like eating your high protein meals. You like working out. It's fun. Yes, it's fun. But I would use that as an escape to not read. I would do everything as an escape to not read. Heck, maybe now, like, books for me is an escape from my next problem. It's like, that takes so much womb, bro. You get what I mean? Always ask yourself, what is the most difficult thing I can do today? And yes, it requires discipline, but if I can have the mindset of the fact that it won't always require discipline, and sooner rather than later, it's not going to require as much discipline as I think it will. If I can just slowly chip away. Like I said 20 minutes ago, when I ordered the 10 books, I didn't think to read them all in one day. I slowly chipped away, chip, one page, or one word, one line, one paragraph, one page, 2 page, 10 page, a chapter, a book, 2 books. I chipped, like sculpting my brain. Just like how you chip away with your physique. Oh, body fat's slowly falling off. Muscle mass is slowly going up. That's what growth is. It's setting goals that aren't too big, that aren't too intimidating, but goals that make me feel just a little bit uncomfortable, that scare me just a little. But don't scare me too much, because that enables me to take action on them. And when that starts to become a little bit easy, I'll set myself a bigger goal. But that soon-to-be bigger goal will actually be the same level of difficulty as this goal right now. It's just that I need to build myself up to that. You have to build yourself up with everything, bro. Same thing with posting YouTube videos. I have a close friend of mine who I've been convincing for 4 or 5 months now to start posting YouTube videos. And at first, it just seemed like I was chucking so much information at him, because I've obviously been posting now for like a full year. And I've learned so much. And me telling him everything at once can kind of be like overwhelming and like too much. But I dumbed it the fuck down and just told him, take action and I'll tell you what you have to work on. And he posted his first YouTube video. He just took action. He didn't think. He didn't say to himself, oh, I'll think about posting. I'll think about going to the gym. I'll think about talking to that girl. He didn't think. He just did it. He acted. The AAA protocol, which is from the book Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco, I'm pretty sure. Act, assess, adjust. You can't assess or adjust something if you don't act on it. How do you expect to get better? How do you expect to improve if you don't start reading, if you don't start posting, if you don't start going to the gym? Just do it. And then say to yourself, oh, holy crap, I can't speak well. But at least I know now that I can't speak well. So why don't I just keep doing it? Because I've assessed it now. Now let me adjust through acting more. So I can assess more and I can adjust more. Like a cycle that's limitless and keeps on going of just crazy non-stop improvement. And before you know it, like the time will pass by anyway. I'll be able to look back and then teach my future self or teach others not to make the same mistakes I did, or through taking action when I was a beginner, then I became an intermediate, a novice, and now I'm advanced as fuck. Scroll back, bro. Look at my early YouTube videos. Look how poorly I spoke. Look how anxious I was. Do some research. Like, you didn't have to do any research to find this video. You don't have to do any research for all the books I've told you to read, but do some research about me. Scroll back. My sentences, when I was to speak, didn't link well. I didn't go into that much depth. They were very bland, boring. I would say a lot of ums and ahs. But I was still trying to get better. And it almost just all hit at once. Like, I'm now 23. I turned 24 in 7 months. I've been doing this journey of self-improvement content now for a year. And I look back and like, holy crap. If only I knew sooner how much everything compounds. And how easier it gets with every video, with every book, with every gym session. It all actually just gets easier. And I know, your brain is thinking, Adrian, that's impossible. The negative thoughts I get right now when I try to read a book, when I try to record myself speak, they are so strong. So strong. They like control me and I just can't get out of my bed. It won't always be like that. And I guess my final piece of like simple, stupid, dumb advice is that you, my friend, need to dumb it down as much as possible. I literally sent a voice message to my friend yesterday and I told him that there's going to be times where you don't want to record yourself or where you don't want to read a book. But you know what you have to do in those times is you have to go back and you have to think of what is step one of recording a video, of reading a book. Okay, step one of recording a video is probably walking in my room and sitting on my chair. That's it. There's no speaking involved with starting to record a video. I have to be in my room and be on my chair. I'll worry about the rest later. But if I can just do that part, I know I am on the right path of success and the right path of making further and further and further more right decisions. What's the first step of reading a book? Okay, obviously have the book first. But kind of the same thing. Grab whatever book you want to read and sit down. Don't even open the book. Grab it and sit down. If you have to stare at it for 10 minutes, let it be. But grab it and sit down and worry about all of the rest later. Because I know when you got that book in your hands and you give yourself nothing else to do, you've fucked your phone away, you're home alone, there's no distractions, maybe you're in the library. I know that guarantees you with a way more high percentage chance of reading that first page. Baby steps. Doesn't have to be a gigantic leap. Again, same thing with posting content. I don't want to get too much into it because it's not really related with the video. But don't expect to post full 30+ minute unedited talking videos your first try. You'll shock yourself and you realize, fuck, this is actually difficult. But how can I get better? Why don't I start recording 5-minute videos and even making them a little bit edited because I can't speak as fluently yet. And then we can go to 6 minutes, then we can go to 10 minutes, then we can go to 20, 30, fuck, maybe even an hour full-length guides, which I've now posted 2 of, which I will have up here at the end of the video. Work on building skills that amplify and improve your situation. Don't think this shitty part-time job will be everything, because it's not. So that means don't make it everything. Make it the bare minimum. Make it something that you have to do, but you're ranking other stuff higher than it. Reading, gym, content, business. Because at the end of the day, all we have is time, and the only person who decides how he's going to use and spend that time is you. Go to the library, find that book, and read it now. I hope this video has motivated and educated you. I currently have a private school community group full of self-improvement where you can ask a bunch of questions in the discussion thread. I'm also going to have pre-recorded courses. Also going to be doing 2 live calls weekly in there, a Q&A and something that I've learned throughout the week. Also, we'll be holding private meetups. We can go for runs, gym sessions, even dinners. So excited to officially release this. It's coming really, really soon, but it will be in the link of the description because I know by the time I post this, it's probably going to be out. Also, make sure to click the subscribe button, also a little bell icon, kind of like remind you when I do upload these types of videos so you can watch them and educate yourself as soon as humanly possible. Other than that, bro, I'm going to go gym now. It's leg day. Wish me luck, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.